Welcome to Last Night, your sci-fi recap show. I'm your host, Enghill, and I'm joined today by television critic, author, video game dilettante, dancer, karaoke singer, and half-demon, Dark Suckerberg. Tell me, Dark, is it true that gingers have no souls?
If it were, then I wouldn't need to be half-demon to be evil.
We had a monster hunter on the show yesterday. What is the difference between a monster and a demon?
The difference, Liv, is a monster is just another type of animal, like a bear or a lion, or even a human. Demons take over someone else's body, like vampires or werewolves do.
I always thought being a werewolf was like having an infection or a curse.
A lot of people do. But not the folks at being human, apparently. Last night they introduced a new character who told Josh the wolf was simply another person living in the same body with him, and that the secret to controlling him was to just try to get along with him. You'd think that would have been something Josh could have learned years ago.
Well, don't forget, Josh didn't have anyone to help him when he first became a wolf, and most of the werewolves he met along the way were like Liam, who were all about the bloodlust.
Pete is an interesting character to introduce at this point in the show. Just appearing like that right after Josh is about to go all wolf again? Either it's supposed to be a coincidence, or he has a larger role to play. Maybe he'll turn out to be Liam's brother or something.
That would certainly be a surprise. What do you think about werewolf blood being a vaccine for this vampire flu?
I think it has some poetry to it. You survive by drinking the blood of the people who are trying to kill you. It's obviously something they've been planning for a long time, since Aiden drinking Josh's blood happened a long time ago.
I love how he told Blake at the end that it's time for vampires to stop being afraid of werewolves. We're going to see some serious vampire on werewolf violence in the coming weeks, I predict.
Unless the zombie violence completely overshadows it.
Oh yes. How Sally and Nick and even Stevie are now full-blown flesh-eaters. Sally claims she'll never go down that path, that she can't let herself go on eating mice and wanting to eat cats and children, and that she'd rather just let herself die.
I think she may be forgetting that she gave control of her soul to that evil witch when she dies. If I were her, then I'd try to stay alive for as long as I could.
Even if it meant chowing down on your girlfriend like Nick did to Zoe?
Now hold on. We don't know he actually ate her. All we got was a fade to black and Zoe screaming. Maybe she fought him off. The preview for next week didn't give us any clues.
Thought's true. Let's move on though, we still have 2 other shows to cover. What did you think about Continuum and the whole standoff at the farm?
I think, whether they meant it to be that way or not, the stupidity of those teenagers taking the family and the cops hostage made the episode a little painful to watch. I understand why it had to happen that way. The reveal at the end about how Julian is connected to the Liberate movement, his real connection, is going to prove a tough balancing act. If it works though, then they'll have one hell of an exciting second season.
What about the whole situation with Cameron and Kellogg? I mean, it was obvious that he had the hots for her almost from the beginning, but now it's like there's some reciprocity, you might say.
She's not attracted to him, obviously. It's a Buffy and Spike situation. He's the only one who understands how she feels, and even though he's one of the bad guys, or at least he was, she needs someone who understands her. All he needs to do now is bleach his hair and get a big leather coat.
Plus there's the whole forbidden fruit angle. Whether you're looking for comfort, companionship, or just plain physical contact, the dark side can be very seductive. Especially for someone who's probably despairing of ever going home again.
Speaking of dark sides and forbidden fruit, last night's episode of Lost Girl gave a pretty good hint of what they have in store as far as those elements go.
And I thought I was supposed to do the segues.
Don't worry. I won't start asking the questions.
How gentlemanly of you. I'm sure you have an opinion about this new possible relationship between Bo and Tamsin.
Not even a Buffy-Spike relationship here. The kiss was fan service, thoughts clear. And Tamsin, I'm sure, is developing real feelings for Bo, but Bo will never return them. This is just a way to expand Tamsin as a character, give her more depth and dimensions. I loved the scene at the end with the tarot cards literally raining down on Tamsin's head. Now she's facing the prospect of things getting too personal for her, whatever her actual feelings may be. That, I felt, was the whole point of that particular tangent.
So you expect Bo and Lauren to get back together?
Well, I don't know about that. Remember, Bo has to go through the dawning now. That alone has the potential to complicate every aspect of her life. The writers could literally go in any direction with the story. Thoughts why it's called a game changer?
What was your favorite line of the night?
I liked how Cameron on Continuum shut down Kellogg at first by saying, "Does this conversation come in interesting?" But the best was when Nora invited Kat over to see Aiden and Josh asks, "May I ask what inspired you to ask one of our only Muggle friends over during this particularly supernatural time?" It's easy to forget how mainstream Harry Potter has become.
And what was your favorite semi-hookup of the night? Cameron and Kellogg, Aiden and Kat, or Bo and Tamsin?
I'd say Cameron and Kellogg, simply because it was the one I expected the least. The element of surprise is important in keeping your writing interesting.
Truth, as Tamsin would say. Thank you for joining me here, Dark.
My pleasure, Liv.
And thank you all for watching last night.